What's up, Rugrat Wild adventurers? We ain't really got a good video for y'all today. So, well, I'm not gonna say we don't have a good video. We have a different style of video. We're gonna talk to you guys a little bit, let y'all get to kind of know us, where we're at, what we're doing. I guess kind of introduce ourselves. Let me slide this over a little bit. Oh, there we go. Introduce ourselves a little bit, let you kind of know who we are, you know, where we're from, what got us into this RV life, what kind of crazy things we've learned.
And then we're going to talk to you about homeschooling, or in our case, road schooling.
So yeah, I've been letting go of books, and I'm not there yet. I know I'm going to let go of some books. Right now we're still going through our non-climate control unit because that's the one we've really been trying to get dealt with since it had all the mice.
I've been letting go of my Scooby-Doo stuff, which is really hard for me.
But it's one of those things we just gotta, you know, it's all about realizing that it served its purpose and we no longer need it because it no longer serves us. So it's time to let it go and serve someone else for a while. And that's fine. It takes a little time to make peace with that, but we're getting there.
My dad said something to us, and it really got us thinking. It was, yeah,
mind-blowing.
He's like, you'd probably wind up paying more in storage units than you would just to replace the stuff that was in the storage unit.
And you know he ain't wrong.
He's not wrong as far as, like, the crap goes. Now, there's some stuff in there that needs to be, like our pictures and memorabilia and stuff like that. That stuff needs to be, you know, put
obviously
away.
We want to keep like our pictures and stuff like that.
At this point, it's just a matter of finding that stuff in the storage unit because I'm pretty sure they're buried.
But you know, we made the choice to make this transition to the RV life. I'm not going to say it's been easy.
It's definitely not been easy. If you're looking to do it, it's not going to be easy. There's compromises. Like, for instance, if Sean here is standing at the foot of the bed, I have to make him move to get out of the bedroom. I mean,
yeah.
just things you have to learn to cope with because you're in a different space. You don't have that type of space that we had in the house, so it's different. The kids have seemed to enjoy it pretty well. Like, after we got their bunks and stuff set up for them, they've got their own little area with their curtain and stuff, and they enjoy sitting up there and watching TV and kind of having their own space.
Yeah, and that's really what we were going for with the bunkhouse. We wanted to make sure all the kids had, you know, a space of their own. Whether or not it was technically a shared space at other times, you know, but, you know, having the bunkhouse gives them their own room space, so worked out pretty good. And, you know, we knew from the get-go that Sarah and Kenneth weren't going to be full-time with us. So, that being said, though, we have had a super busy last couple weeks, and it's been stupid hot. And, honestly, going on any adventures the last week and a half, maybe 2 weeks even.
I wouldn't have never survived the heat.
It wouldn't have been any fun at all. We were getting temperatures of like, I think actual temperatures were hitting between 95 and 100 with heat indexes of up to 115. And I'm going to say it. Can I tell them now?
What?
I want to tell them. It's not the heat, y'all. It's the humidity. It's that Tennessee humidity is just different. It's built different, y'all. Yeah, I almost died this past Monday because I don't even remember like 30 minutes of driving around. I have no idea what happened. I came to at storage unit with a sweet tea and a pretzel from Sonic. That's what I remember. Pretzel, tea. Getting back in the swing of school, homeschooling. This has been a lot of fun.
Yeah. Not our oldest, our 17-year-old daughter. She's doing online through the school system, because she wants to walk with her class and stuff like that. So she's kind of taking care of her own stuff, and she's actually been a big help right now. She's at the football field with our youngest daughter doing cheer practice because she helps coach too. So it took a little bit off my plate with her taking her to practice and stuff, and she's gonna bring her home tonight and stuff like that. She's also been really good about helping watch the kids when I have school or when I have to work or stuff like that. And she works all the time too. So between working at school and helping me, she stays pretty busy, and she's been doing a really, really good job at helping.
She's really stepped up and matured this last year, and it's been really kind of cool to watch, honestly, because we didn't think it was ever going to happen. I'm sure other parents out there 100% understand and agree that those teenage daughter years they're nothing to mess with. Just get through them. Just get through them, guys. It gets better.
Kenneth, we're doing with him because I didn't really feel comfortable trying to teach him because he's in high school and he had stuff like chemistry and Spanish and stuff like that, and I was looking at that going, oh my god, I'll never survive chemistry and Spanish, you know. I'm gonna do good to teach 2nd and 4th grade math, much less chemistry and Spanish. So I did a lot of digging and researching, and we found this Power Homeschool, and we enrolled Kenneth in the Power Homeschool, and he's been doing his classes through there. And they also had like a I forget what they even called it on there, but he's interested in kind of like the same things I am, which is the photography and like the Adobe Photoshop and the stuff like that, like video editing and picture editing and stuff like that. And they have a class for it on there. I don't know if it's actually Adobe Suits that they use or not, or if it's just kind of teaching them some of it, but it's like a visual communications almost like class. And so I was pretty excited about that, and he's been working on like different things in Adobe and showing me where he's making compositions and stuff like that. So it's been really cool to watch him do all that stuff.
Yeah, and it feels kind of like he's starting to find his footing a little bit. Something that he enjoys doing, that he's wants to take the time to actually get good at doing. So yeah, that's really cool. I'll be 100% honest with y'all. I didn't make it through high school myself. I got to I think I did 10th grade like 2 or 3 times and finally called it quits. I did do some colleging. Colleging was fun. Learn some things. But I'm not a teacher. And I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all what these kids are learning in school now. I don't know it. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to do it. They keep calling it math. I look at it as science. Now, that's coming from a guy who uses math daily, all day long. I'm constantly using math all day long on job sites. What they're doing in school is not math. It's some kind of super trig calculonomics. I don't know. It's not math.
But with our youngest two, we wanted something that we didn't have to rely on a computer.
Because you're not always going to have great internet.
We're not always going to have internet, and we wanted to be able to do some things on the internet, but also have stuff that they could do that was not internet based, not computer based, and stuff like that. So I had dug and dug and dug, trying to find different things that, different curriculums and stuff like that. And I was trying not to spend an arm and a leg too, because I was looking at some of these things and thinking, good God, it'd take me $3,000 to buy the curriculum.
Yeah, y'all, some of these like super structured homeschool programs are just ridiculous prices. I think there were some that, $2,000-$3,000 a pop.
Yeah.
No way.
Per kid, like one of the ones I looked at was Abeka, and I really kind of wanted to do it, but I think it was going to cost in the upwards of like $2,000 per kid, or I think maybe it was like $1,200 per kid. It might not have been $2,000. It was like $1,200 per kid. But
still, that's ridiculous, and especially when I'm very much that old school mindset of reading, writing, arithmetic, learn some life lessons. The stuff that you're really going to hang on to and get you through the world. I don't see a need for things like chemistry unless this is something you want to do. Things like chemistry are just kind of pointless. Things like, I know half of what they're teaching in the schools now. I know most of for the last 6 years the kids have been bringing home homework, and I'm just like,
Don't
You'll never do it
understand it.
again.
But I found, if anybody's interested, I found this curriculum is called The Good and the Beautiful. And, like, the math and the language arts, you can print yourself. It is totally free to download and print yourself, which I thought was cool. Now, don't get me wrong. It takes a lot of ink. I've went through several ink cartridges at this point, but it has the English and the math is totally free, 100% download. You can also buy the books and stuff like that if you want to, if you don't want to print it. But like even their reading books that go along with it, they have where you can print those. I've tried to print some of his off. I've tried to print as we go. Some of their other stuff like handwriting. I bought their handwriting books for them, and because Will is really, really bad with his handwriting.
Yeah.
And so we were hoping that would help. But that's kind of what they look like in the inside.
And that's one thing that I've been kind of pushing on, and maybe even a little bit too hard, is you've got to be able to write neatly, you've got to be able to spell correctly, you've got to be able to communicate in a written form to get your point across, efficiently and accurately. If you can't write neat and your writing looks like you're a doctor or something, no one can read that. No one can read that. And
they have extracurricular, other type of class. Like I got them the typing one. We haven't started on this yet. I literally just got these ones that I ordered from them in last week sometime.
I wasn't last week. That was just like this past weekend.
Yeah. And so we hadn't had a chance to start on the typing, but we did have them start on the handwriting, and we did start. I ordered the geology because our son is really into rocks. So I ordered the geology lesson for him. And this is like the teacher's book. And it gives you definitions and what to read to your kids. And it also, there's an app that goes along with it that has different videos that it'll tell you in the lesson book to watch this video. So I airdrop it to our TV and play it on the TV for them. And they each have their own student journal, and it has their exercises in it, their worksheets for that lesson. And then we do the lesson that way. It also comes with a rocks and mineral kit that has, see if I can, different rocks and stuff in it, which really excited William.
Yeah, they were excited to see all the crystals and stuff in it. And I'm, like I said before, I'm a big bibliophile, big on books, big on stories. Catherine has always loved reading and stories since she was little. By the time she was finishing kindergarten, she was reading the Harry Potter books. Not full blown, but we had to help her a little bit. But she was reading the Harry Potter books pretty fluently. Will has always fought against reading. He's fought against it, I don't know, as hard as he could possibly fight.
He fights against all the schoolwork. It's not just the reading.
He likes math. He'll do math.
He'll do math. And he's good with numbers too.
And I actually picked this book up at McKay's, the local bookstore. I heard good things about it. I wasn't really sure a good way to really kind of get him into it, but I figured maybe if he got into this, since the main character in this book's name is Will, seemed like it was rational thinking. And, once I got him to start on it, he kind of liked it. We've read the prologue and part of the first chapter, so we haven't really read too much of it yet, but, he likes it, and he'll take off with it and say he's going to go read his book, and he'll sit there and look at the pages for a while. I don't really know if he's reading it or not, but and it may be a little more advanced for him. It's actually called the Ranger's Apprentice series, The Ruins of Gorlon, Book 1 by John Flanagan. I've heard good things about it. I've never read it myself. If anybody out there has read it and can attest to it, drop in the comments below. Let us know. But yeah, homeschool has been a challenge. It's been difficult.
I've also picked up, like, for Catherine, I've got this book that's grade 4 comprehensive curriculum. I've got one on order for Will, but they were on back order for some reason. But it's just got, different worksheets that I can help me give her. It's got different subjects and all that in there. Especially on days when I have to work and I can't just stand over her all day long. I can give her these things, and then she can video call me at work if she needs to and ask me questions about them. And
I think that is the one thing we have found that we really liked about the homeschooling is we get that flexibility. We don't necessarily have to be here while they're doing the work. They can video call us real quick. Okay, cool. We help them out.
Or they can go ask their grandma for help. Sometimes she can help them too.
Yeah.
She's the one that's here with them.
And it's, we're not having to get them up at 6 o'clock in the morning and pump them in school at 7 and make them sit there for 7 hours. We're doing a couple hours of schoolwork a day. And it might be in the morning, it might be at nighttime, it might be at lunchtime. Who knows? We're kind of get that flexibility to do with what we want because we're not bound by the system, the constraints of the school system. And that was one of the things we were really looking for when we started this whole journey. We wanted that freedom. We were done with the constraints of being in the rat race, the whole constant, grind, 9 to 5, always got to be working so you can, keep up with the bills, keep up with the Joneses, and it got to be too much. We just didn't want to do it no more. It was driving us crazy, and it really, it was putting a strain on our relationship with our kids, on our relationship with each other.
And Catherine last year, she was coming home with hours worth of homework every night. I don't agree with homework. I've never agreed with homework.
I never did homework.
I don't, because when the kids get home, that's our time to spend with the kids. It's our time to do dinner, our sports, stuff like that. I don't agree with them having hours of homework because Catherine's cheered for what now? This is like her 4th year.
Fourth
Year of cheering. They practice 3 nights a week from 7 to 8 o'clock, and
6 to 8.
6 to 8. And so she would literally come home from school and start on homework, and sometimes would not be finished with it before cheer practice. And then we'd have to go to cheer practice, and then we'd have to come home and finish schoolwork along with doing dinner and stuff like that. And it was chaotic, and it was ridiculous. And I think it's ridiculous that in school they're there 7 hours, and
7.5 hours,
but yet homeschool you're only required to do 4 hours, but yet she was going to school 7 hours and then bringing hours of homework home.
And that was the thing really bothered us was there's no reason to still be doing homework at 9, 10 o'clock at night. Way beyond ridiculous. No one should be doing homework now, especially not little kids doing homework that way. That's just it's uncalled for. It's unnecessary. They're already getting more out of the little spurts of schooling with the homeschool than they ever did sitting in school for 7 hours a day. Especially Will has gotten to the point where he just stays outside all the time. He's constantly outside, and he's always all the time finding different sticks and different rocks. And
I could maybe see the homework if she was struggling in something, but she was by far struggling in anything. She was in 3rd grade last year. She passed her
state test.
The TCAP test. She passed it the first time around, flying colors. Didn't need a second test. Every benchmark testing that they done on her, she was always above where she was supposed to be, especially in her reading because she likes to read. But if she would have been struggling in an area, I could have seen the homework and trying to get her back on track. But she was not struggling, and it was ridiculous.
Not to mention, like I said, we don't really conform to this new era, age, whatever you want to call it. I'm very much old school kind of person. I believe in the simple things in life, and one of the things I don't believe in is I don't believe in politics at school. I don't play politics at school, and that was one of the reasons I never got big into school, was because I didn't do the politics and games that were played when I was in school. And I'm not going to sit here and do it with other teachers who, half of which are younger than I am now. Not going to give my age just yet, but and it's kind of ridiculous that, you know, we should even be asked to do that in this day and age. Information is pretty readily available. Yeah, we know there's disinformation out there, whatever. You got to sort through stuff. It is what it is. But, you know, the main driving force behind this whole decision was we wanted freedom to be able to live again. You know, we weren't living anymore. We were slaves to the system. We were slaves to the jobs we were working. We were slaves to the school systems. We were, you know, all of us constantly just tired all the time, stressed out to the max all the time, which, granted, we stay a little bit stressed with this thing too, but it's a different kind of stress than we were dealing with before. Not to mention, now we also have we don't have the constraints of, like, physical constraints. We're not stuck in one place anymore. Back in 2009, I took a road trip, and me and a buddy of mine, we went through and did, I think it was like 37 states in 45 days. Now, I'm not saying we stayed in all those states. Some of them were just drive-through states, but, you know, we got to see 37 states in 45 days. It was one of the most, you know, amazing experiences of my entire life. She hasn't got to do a lot of traveling. I mean, not like I did, anyways.
And that was one of the ways we wanted our kids to learn too, was hands-on learning and actually seeing things instead of just reading about them. Not saying that reading about stuff in a book is wrong by any means, but to actually physically lay eyes on stuff. Like, we went to the Everglades National Park in March, and Kat, she was just ecstatic.
Oh, she couldn't find enough of the animal and the wildlife. Will was constantly on the lookout for gators.
Yeah.
He was trying to find gators everywhere he went.
And we seen a lot of gators.
A lot of gators.
Catherine and her posing birds, she really loved I think they're Inhinga birds. And
especially, you know, the kids just like being outside.
Yeah.
You know, walking down trails.
But they're learning stuff that way, too.
They do. They will actually learn more because they're getting to see it, they're getting to feel it, they're getting to smell it, they're getting to hear it, they're getting to experience it, instead of staring at a piece of paper or a book
or a TV screen or
something that's just, you know, not giving them the true experience of the thing.